Welcome to Death Valley, otherwise known as Clemson Memorial Stadium, the home of the Clemson Tigers, for this very crucial clash in the SEC between the Florida Gators and those same Tigers. I'm David Roy, and in the booth with me is Mike Peters, the commissioner of the CFSL. And Mike, really this is a must-win game for Clemson. Your thoughts?
I actually think it's kind of a must-win game for both of these teams, although Florida isn't mathematically eliminated with the loss. Their odds are very, very low in the SEC if they lose, whereas Clemson, they're pretty much out of it if they lose. Mathematically with a loss by LSU or Alabama, but really a loss in general, and Clemson's pretty much out of the SEC race.
Well, there is your offensive player of the week. From week 5 taking the field, Will Slay, who only had 6 incompletions a week ago on his way to a very major performance. And Dane Jones going to get things started, but he's going backwards.
Yeah, not what you would expect to see in this number 54. I don't even know who that cat is. He hasn't made it on my my play sheet, so he's making his presence felt, though.
He is not one of those cool cats and kittens, huh?
Wow.
Slay firing a dart over the middle, but that pass broken up, and it's a long 3rd and 15 early.
Well, it's funny that you say that because there were Gators and there were Tigers in Tiger King, so it was a reasonable reference.
Empty backfield, Slay to throw, gonna step up into the pocket, able to get out of trouble, but he throws it right to Andrew Mock, who had some Gator arms there as he dropped it.
Philip King is number 54, by the way. I do find him on my sheet. Apparently, the corona has still impacting my mental acuity. But Andrew Mock, I thought he had his 4th interception of the season, was right to him, and he couldn't hold on.
Kellen Irvin gets across midfield, and so, Mike, we turn our attention to Matthias St. John, who in his career had 9 touchdown passes, 13 interceptions.
Well, he's a little bit more even this season, 4-4, but he shouldn't be the focal point of this offense, I don't think, throwing the ball.
He's going to start out doing just that, and it's a quick throw to Bentley Jones, who gets 11. And Mike, there is your focal point of the offense.
Well, I think it should be. We've been calling for it all season long. I have it on good authority that they plan on giving Bentley at least 2 or 3 more carries than he usually gets.
St. John going to give it to Bentley Jones, who finds a crease, and a stiff arm will get him 10 yards.
Imagine that. You go to Bentley Jones the first 2 plays of the game, and he picks up 19 yards for you.
Moving pretty efficiently here, down inside the 30 and inches away from picking up another first down. St. John running speed option, doesn't pitch it, tries to cut it back, and he will lose yardage and put this Florida offense in a bit of a more difficult spot.
Well, it's still not the worst thing in the world at 3rd and 4, but he's got to learn to run that option a little bit better. He had time to pitch it. Granted, I get it that you don't want to lose 6 or 7 on the pitch, but that didn't help you out much either.
And the gun 4 wide. St. John to throw. Pressure, he's going to try to take off and run, but he's not going to get much out of it. As down he goes for a loss of 3, the walk-on Charles Peterson.
Well, this is the Axton Richardson young QB complex there. As you try to run too quick and you don't stay in the pocket. And now you're giving your kicker a long 51-yard field goal after a nice start to that drive.
From the right hash, Anthony Ammon puts it through, and he delivers for a 3-point lead.
Well, you know, it started well, and then it kind of broke down, but it's capped by a nice 51-yard field goal. We don't see a lot of those, as they are more difficult to make, but Anthony Ammon knocks it through, and the Gators with early lead.
This kick way deep in the end zone, and it will be nailed for a touchback. And this Florida defense, Mike, their first drive pretty good, but you'd expect that Clemson should adjust, right?
Well, it's one drive, and I think they will. I think we've seen Will Slay really play well the last few weeks. I suspect he'll find a rhythm, as will this offense.
Pistol set, handoff. Dane Jones running right up the middle, had a lot of room to work with, and it helps him get an easy 9 yards.
Dane Jones had his debut last week. Only 50 yards rushing, but he had 102 receiving on 10 catches, so he had a nice productive week. And I suspect we're going to see them feature him yet again this week.
2nd and 1. Jones gets lit up by Wyatt King for a loss of 3.
Well, as I said, we're going to see more Dane Jones, but we're also going to see more Wyatt King as he reads that one well, comes through unblocked, and makes the big hit there to force the medium length 3rd down.
3rd and 4. Can Clemson succeed where Florida could not on their drive? It's Slay to throw. That pass to the right sideline and incomplete. Slay starting 0 for 3, and it's another 3 and out.
Yeah, he just led his tight end Maurice Ross a little bit too far there, pushes him out of bounds. So another stalled out drive here for Clemson, and a great opportunity here for the Gators.
This punt a little bit deeper than the last one as Kellen Irvin gets us out to the 41. Not quite the starting field position that St. John and company had on their previous drive.
Well, it's still pretty good. Anytime you can start your own drive across your own 40-yard line, you're in good shape.
4 wide, handoff. Bentley Jones running upfield. A little stiff arm there will help him get half the distance needed to set up a very interesting 2nd and 5 call.
I think Bentley Jones has already touched the ball more than he did in the entire last game.
Well, he did get it a little bit late, although I will say he's probably ran the ball more this game than he has in the past. It's Jones, another carry, and a 1st down with another stiff arm, picking up 7.
Well, I don't know what's gotten into the Florida Gator offense, but they seem to be using the running back, and it seems to be paying off for him.
They're going to empty out the backfield here following that, and St. John to throw. Stepping up, and that pass into traffic and nearly intercepted.
We should have done like a 50-1. Will Bentley Jones get more than 30 carries in this game?
Is Horton's listening? Is Horton's here yet? I don't know if he is.
I don't know. He's
I haven't seen
in
him
and
yet.
out.
Jones for the carry, and look at him. Running like a steamroller through the Clemson defense.
Well, I know it's early, but 4 carries for 31 yards. You could say I was on something. I don't know.
3rd and a yard, pistol set for the Gators. Bentley Jones motioned out of the backfield to the right, and St. John to throw. Finding a wide open Tyler Wilson over the middle. It's a gain of 18.
Well, that's Tyler Wilson's first catch since the Hail Mary at the end of the last game. And he kind of pays the price for it as he got left hanging a little bit over the middle, absorbs that hard hit there. Actually, I guess it wasn't left hanging. He was turning upfield, but takes a big hit and probably didn't have that kind of collision on the Hail Mary that he caught at the end of the last game.
No. And that's why they say always keep your head on a swivel on the field because you never know who's coming for your blind side. That pass for Wilson again. Touchdown, Florida.
It's amazing what a good running game can do for your quarterback and how much room it leaves him over the middle. I think this is the cure for what ails Matthias St. John, and he looks great on that drive, as does the running game, and the Gators quickly up by 10 here.
Back-to-back scoring drives for the Gators, and this one being their longest, a 6-play scoring drive for Florida. Mike, for Clemson, though, back-to-back 3-and-outs on their opening possession.
Well, it's still early. It's not the way that they wanted to start. You definitely don't want to be down 2 scores, especially at home, here in front of your home fans that showed out and are cheering you on to greatness. But I think the Clemson offense, what we've seen from them all season long, is that unless they're like really out of it, they're never out of it. I'm sure that makes sense to everybody out there as well.
Out to their own 31, courtesy of Isaac Kraut. Good return there, and Slay. Bubble screen right side, but the Florida defense reading it all the way. Muhammad Damore slowed up Chamberlain King for Philip King to make the tackle.
Pesky walk-on again, getting in there and making plays. Somebody give him a scholarship.
All these walk-ons, they want their scholarships. They're showing up tonight for the Florida defense. Dane Jones getting a carry. He's showing up tonight as he powers his way forward for the 1st down.
Dane Jones is a big dude. He's 6'1", 225, got power in them legs, and that hair, that adds some more weight to him, I'm sure. Looks scary back there, and he's been a nice addition to this offense.
To the 42, Slay to throw, finding the middle of the field. And a soft spot in the zone defense helps Chamberlain King pick up 14.
Who is Chance Mock? Because that name, is that a quarterback of Missouri? Is that where
Are you talking current or past?
Just Chance Mock. Who's Chance Mock?
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know why I keep wanting to call Andrew Mock Chance Mock.
Slay to throw, a little check down here for Maurice Ross. He'll get 9 yards.
Well, right now, they're moving the ball pretty effectively. They're using the running game. They're using the short passing game. And this is what they needed to do. Dane Jones said in chat earlier that they needed to get Slay in rhythm, and I think this is helping to do that. If they can do that, you drive down the field. Even if you get 3, you get 7, doesn't matter. You're still only within 1 score, and I think you're perfectly okay going forward.
After Slay started 0 for 3 passing, he has now completed his last 3 passes. As Slay here again, this is 4th completion, and a great route ran. Touchdown, Clemson.
Yeah, you can't really run it much better than that. Chamberlain King running a crossing route. He's got his receiver on the outside, sets a pick for him effectively, and he takes it to the house. Watch him cut across the receiver here, and then he picks up he was getting blocked, but it also picked the guy that was covering him, and he's able to go down the sideline. Great play there for Clemson, and excellent execution there by Will Slay, and a quick drive there for Clemson, and they're right back in it.
5-play scoring drive there for the Clemson Tigers following the 35-yard touchdown catch and run by Chamberlain King. And Mike, how much does that, if any, put pressure on the Florida Gators?
I don't think it puts a whole lot, but I just want to throw this out there. Does that make Chamberlain the Tiger King?
Does for this Clemson
Oh,
team.
there goes Irvin!
Irvin to the races, down the left sideline, and brought down at the 36, a 62-yard return.
Kellen Irvin knows there's 10-1 odds against him returning a kick for a touchdown. He's doing all he can to make his betting faithful pay off.
And off. Bentley Jones up the middle, and Jones picking up 10 yards and making it look easy.
I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Bentley Jones is your key to prosperity. Where is Bentley? Is he even in chat?
And off to him, and Jones gets it down to the edge of the red zone, a gain of 5.
Where is Bentley? Is he in chat? Because, I mean, did all of the lack of usage his first few games, did he just tune out? Where is he?
That's a good question. Double screen right side, and Jones will lose 6.
Okay, I said run it with him. I didn't say throw swing passes 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Nuance here. Nuance is key.
It is indeed. As Sam Lott came up to make that tackle. One of the recent additions to this Clemson defense. Long 2nd down, and they're going to go with a read option keeper, Matthias St. John, going to pick up more than half of that yardage. It's gain of 9.
A reasonable play call there. They get halfway, like you said, and so it sets up a more manageable 3rd and 7, and they're at least within field goal range, even if they can't convert.
Empty backfield. St. John to throw. 4-man rush. To the end zone. That pass caught by the walk-on, Ashton Jones.
Well, the walk-ons are playing big for Florida. You got Phillip King on the opposite side, and there you got Ashton Jones coming through wide open over the middle. And breakdown in the defense, and also a great play ran, great throw there by Matthias St. John, and Florida back to a 10-point lead, putting the pressure on Clemson.
Florida, great drive there, and another pretty quick one. Only 5 plays for that scoring drive. And now, Mike, again, as you mentioned, putting everything back on the shoulders of Will Slay.
Hutch is like, where are the safeties? Well, you called cover 2, and they ran a post route. The safeties were exactly where they were supposed to be. Your linebacker just didn't play deep enough underneath, and it let them get over, but it was the right play call against the right defense.
So it's working out in Florida's favor, and their defense, Mike, very much the way that they have been most of the season, playing well early on.
They have. Florida's strength has really been their defense. And their offense has been a little inconsistent, but if they get their offense going along with a really strong defense, they've got a shot to make some noise, which they were doing early on in the season.
They're making some noise in the backfield here. Will Slay off kilter there, had to throw that one in the dirt. And so on 2nd and 10, they're going to run the read option keeper, and Slay gets hit hard by Andrew Mock.
Rick Jordan said in chat that Slay is terrifying, and he is when he gets in the open field, but as you saw there was mock on him, and the defenders on either side, really no room for them to go, limiting what he can get and forcing the third down.
From the gun. Tight end Maurice Ross in motion. Draw play, Dane Jones got the first down, picking up 7.
Oh, what a beautiful thing the run game is.
Mando Rivera, the one who comes over, makes the stop. It's to full house. Triple option, the pitch, and Jones fighting forward just shy of the first down. It's a gain of 10.
Yeah, I mean, they could have gave him the first there. I thought that was really close, but the ball's right on the line there. But good job there by Slade, pitched in at the right time, and a good job there by Jones to convert.
Play fake, Slay with time in the pocket, taking a shot to the right sideline, but led too far out of bounds. It's 3rd and inches.
All kinds of options, though. If he throws it a little bit more inbounds, that's a touchdown. He also had a corner route coming out underneath, wide open.
Still set, read option keeper. Slay, turn up field. He's got the first down all the way inside the Florida 45.
Looks like Andrew Mock is spotlighting Will Slay because he's in on him every time he takes off and runs, which is probably not a bad idea. That's what they need to do. They can't allow Slay to break open in the run game with big plays.
So at the end of 1, Florida up by 10 and looking to be able to stay within the playoff race. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. Start of the second quarter, Slay under center, and it's a give to Jones, who breaks 1 tackle. A stiff arm to break through a 2nd and a 3rd, down to the 30.
Well, Dane Jones continuing to make his presence felt, running the ball. Only 3.1 per carry last week, but he's been much more effective early on in this game.
Still set, Slay, quick throw for the tight end Ross. He'll get 7 yards. And now Clemson, they're trying to mix things up here a little bit.
Well, Ross was 3rd on the team coming in reception, so they don't use him a lot, but he is effective, and he does give them another weapon.
5-step drop, Slay. Throwing the crossing pattern, and the Florida defense sitting on top of that. KJ Wade with the tackle on Lamar.
I think Slay got rid of that one a little bit too early. He had a delayed slant coming off the backside, which could have got the first, and he looked off of it too quickly, and instead is going to face the 3rd down.
Read option keeper, Slay getting chased by the walk-on King. He'll get a yard, but still shy of the line to gain.
Well, I imagine Slay was sitting there and felt the water ripple, like when the dinosaur comes in Jurassic Park, as he saw Mount Oswald coming after him, and it threw him off.
Tigers going to go for it on 4th and 1. 3-step drop, Slay going to take off and run, and he will slide for the first down.
Well, looks like Will Slay's the Tiger King tonight as he's starting to get going and picking up yards. If he gets hot like he has been the last couple of weeks, Florida's really going to have to stay on their toes.
And off Dane Jones up the middle. Down inside the 5. It's a 9-yard run.
Where's everybody in chat? All I see is Rick and Pimp Daddy Jacob and Dane Jones chatting.
Everybody else is giving it up to them. Either that or they're dominating the chat, which seems to be the case recently. Is that pass coming back for it was Blazer. He got a yard in the first down, but could have had a touchdown.
Well, it was close. He had to come back for it a little bit, but he did get the first down, so they got several attempts now to try to punch it in.
Whistle set. And the speed option as Slay gets down to the 1.
Well, Dakota Wolf coming up and playing against the run, making a nice open field tackle there, keeping him out of the end zone. And as long as they're not in the end zone, you got a chance, although they moved Mount Oswald out to defensive end, and they got a little guy there in the middle. Don't like this.
Single back set. Slay to throw, pressure in his face. That pass incomplete. It was a 15th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal.
Well, I don't know who number 96 is, but he went after Will Slay, forced that pass quickly, and then he was hanging on to him after he got rid of it. He just wanted to bring him down. He got so close to a sack on the only time he gets to play.
Good option keeper, Dylan Wingo, and the pitch from Slay for the touchdown.
Oh, that was a breakdown on the Florida defense. Like you said, Dylan Wingo got there, had an opportunity, blew the play up. They played it perfectly, but he doesn't make the tackle. Slay slips off, completes the pitch, and a touchdown there for the Tigers.
Clemson pulls back within 3, a 16-play scoring drive for the Clemson Tigers. But, Mike, this Florida offense has been able to score on each of their opening possessions.
So far, Florida's doing very well, and the Clemson defense is going to have to adapt. Matt Paxson checked, and he said, I saw a tiger, and all I picture is him just sitting there saying, here, kitty, kitty.
Where was Matt during our musical discussion earlier?
I know. It was more wrestling than musical. Come on, get it right.
I know, but we had a small bit, and that's what you were trying to get him in on.
I was trying to get him in for wrestling. Do you listen to anything that I say?
Depends on the day. St. John driven backwards for a loss of 3.
Just picture that gif where the kid is just like shaking his head with the pursed lips. That's what I just looked like right there.
There you go. Play fake. St. John to throw. Got time. Going to take off and run instead. It's Matthias St. John going to slide for the first down.
Well, you mentioned the pressure with Clemson's scoring, and I do have to wonder a little bit, does it kind of put a little bit of pressure on Matthias St. John because he hasn't had that consistent success throughout the season. He scored on 3 straight drives, and you got to wonder if maybe there's a part in his head that's like, man, I don't know if I can keep driving those down and scoring every time. Like, our defense need to get some stops.
Full house, triple option, but the Clemson defense, they're in the backfield ready for it. Pharaoh Burks leading the charge.
You know, the game is obviously boiled down to more than just the quarterbacks, but if you're going to put the 2 quarterbacks out there, St. John against Slay, I would say Slay's got the opportunity or would have the advantage there. And so the more that this game stays close, I think the more it favors Clemson.
Bentley Jones going to get a carry running left side, and he is hit hard by Aiden Berry, but he does pick up 7.
Berry, we haven't called his name a ton this season, although he does come into the game number 3 in tackles on this Clemson defense. And I'm having a hard time distinguishing between Clemson and Florida because they're all wearing orange.
St. John running. He's got the first down and more, crossing midfield down to the Clemson 45.
This is like when Miami and Florida played last year, and Florida was in the all orange, and Miami were their orange helmets. Like, what are you guys doing? You got blue. Why didn't you come out with blue pants or something? Come on, Pete.
St. John to throw to the middle of the field, and that pass caught by Bentley Jones. He gets another 7 yards here.
I kind of think that Florida was doing like some next level psychology. They're like, well, maybe if we wear all white with our orange helmets, that they'll think we're them and they'll throw us interceptions.
Bentley Jones running right and driven backwards this time. Noah Bishop there with his 3rd tackle, so it does set up 3rd and 4 for the Florida Gators.
Wolfpack Gaming, who is this? Oh, that's Bentley. Bentley, okay, well, welcome, Bentley. You're having yourself a nice game. They're actually running the ball with you a little bit.
Well, they tried to get it to him on the halfback screen, too, but that one got blown up by Bill McAllister to set up a long 4th down.
Well, you know, a matchup that we haven't really talked about. This is a battle of the 2 beef eaters in the middle. Bill McAllister and Markevius Oswald, and McAllister with the early lead there, getting the sack.
So this punt away and being fielded from the 20, Keith Blazer, decent return across to the 31, and Clemson now an opportunity to, at the very least, tie things up.
Well, and this goes back to what I said on the previous drive for Florida, in that the longer this game stays close, the more it favors Will Slay, I think.
Starting the gun, 4 wide. Slay, a check down to the right side. That's Ross picking up 4 yards for the Tigers.
Well, one thing we've seen this season is that the Florida offense hasn't been really good playing from behind, although they were pretty good in the 4th quarter last week against Florida State. They want to stay out in front, so their defense is going to have to find a way to get some more stops.
Jones getting the carry, running right, and that stiff arm of his is a lethal weapon as he picks up another first down with it.
Powerful dude, and he powers his way through to the first down. And right now, Clemson's getting going. They get their run game going. They've got their short and intermediate pass game. Now we got to see if they take a shot on the outside.
43, and off Jones. Started left, cut back inside, and then got pancaked by Wyatt King.
Well, Wyatt King just, sometimes you don't see him. He's like a ghost, and all of a sudden he pops up out of nowhere and lays a big hit.
Only a select few. I shouldn't say a select few, but some people in live chat will get that reference. Empty backfield, Slay. Pressure coming, but that pass dropped by Maurice Ross. Third and 9. Halfback screen, left side. Dane Jones got some blocking, trying to cut back inside, and Dylan Wingo going to drive him backwards for a loss of 2. And Florida, the defense, Mike, you mentioned them maybe needing to get a stop for St. John. Well, they got one here.
Well, they did, and Clemson goes to the Oregon School of Play Calling on that one. 3rd and 9, dials up the halfback screen, nothing doing. And so Florida gets them off the field, and now another opportunity for Matthias St. John to take the lead.
So the punt is away, and it'll be interesting to see where they spot it, but it'll still be favorable field position for Florida.
Well, they get it out of the 32, so great field position here by the Gators, and now we'll see if they go back to the run, and they put together a nice drive here at the end of the half.
St. John from the gun. All day to throw here to the left side, and that pass caught by Irvin, still on his feet. Pushed out of bounds at the Clemson 30.
Well, Ty Patton was out there with him, trying to get the block to break him free. It was a little double on double over there as they had Irvin out there along with Patton. There was 2 defenders in the area, but they got him open on the outside. Patton trying to get the block on the outside on the walk-on Brian Matthews, but a big play either way. And now they've got some time here where the running game definitely becomes an option.
And room for that running game to the inside in particular, and they'll go to Bentley Jones on the draw, but it does not work out. The Clemson defense ready for it as Bishop drives him backwards.
I get you got to keep him. You got to keep him honest, and you got to run some draws out there. But this is the kind of guy you got to get downhill running. You don't want to start him from a standstill like you do on draw plays.
St. John to throw, pressure coming, floating that one to the right sideline and dropped by the walk-on Jones.
You know, I just thought of something. We could have had like if Bentley Jones runs for 300 yards and it's like 1,000 to 1. That would be crazy.
It definitely would be. St. John into traffic and avoiding trouble as Aiden Berry cannot hold on.
They weren't able to get the touchdown, but they started with good field position. They got one good play on that drive, and they at least got the opportunity at a field goal, although 2 50-yarders in one game, a lot for Ammon.
And he is not going to come anywhere close with that one.
Well, I wouldn't say he didn't come anywhere close, but he definitely pushed it too far to the outside, had just enough leg on it, but pushes it outside. And, you know, 50-yard field goals are about 50-50 proposition, and he's 1 for 2 on them tonight.
So the score remains a 3-point game, and Dane Jones swing pass left side, spinning forward, getting 7 as Clemson takes a timeout. Mike, you mentioned that this game remaining close helps the Tigers.
Yeah, I definitely think this favors Will Slay and the Tiger offense right now, as long as it's a close game like this. They got the opportunity to possibly take the lead, and then they could run away with it.
That pass intercepted by Wyatt King over the middle, and Florida says, "Nuh-uh, we're not letting that happen."
Well, like I said, you can't even see Wyatt King sometimes, and he sneaks up out of nowhere, and he jumps up and picks off that pass, and then they get a 15-yard face mask to add on to it.
You might say that Will Slay is seeing ghosts.
I would 100% would say that.
So due to the 15-yard penalty from the Clemson 30, St. John floating this one out of bounds to begin the drive.
Yeah, he just didn't like anything he saw, so he just throws it away. And again, that's the kind of progression that we need to see out of Matthias St. John, is be able to throw that away and not force it into traffic.
St. John to throw again. Going to take off and run. Had a crease, but it closed quickly, and it'll go as a sack for a loss of 2.
Well, and again, that's kind of what we saw from Axton Richardson. Taking off a little bit too early, saw a little bit of pressure instead of stepping up in the pocket and finding somebody that he can throw it to. He tries to take off, and he doesn't have enough room, so he winds up getting sacked and losing a couple yards.
So it's 3rd and 12, and Mike, the concern here becomes, can we get into a field goal range for Anthony Ammon?
Well, I think they're pretty close to where they are now.
Cam Johnson, the tight end in motion, is St. John to throw. with pressure once the end zone, jump ball, incomplete. Sam Lawton coverage.
I don't know if I love that you're going for a 50-50 ball in a situation where you have an opportunity at a field goal. I don't know how likely it is, though. 48-yarder, you're right on the edge of the range here for Ammon.
From the right hash, Anthony Ammon. This kick up, and he puts it through to make it a 6-point lead inside a minute to play.
Well, Ammon came into the game 7 of 10. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He's kicked one from 51 and 48 and missed from 50. So they're giving him a lot of long opportunities, but he's coming through. 2 out of 3 is not bad from that kind of range.
Keith Blazer going to opt to bring this one out, and he will stumble trying to find a crease. But Will Slay going to have decent field position and time. 2 timeouts for him, and you see the numbers there. Had a great first quarter. His second quarter leaving a little bit to be desired so far.
Yeah, hasn't looked great. They got 2 pancakes on that kick return there, and Blazer got tripped up.
Slay to throw, 3-man rush, and the pressure in his face, but he will find his intended target, and Maurice Ross, who came back for a 6-yard play.
Well, again, they're playing it kind of short and shallow, and I'm not quite sure why.
Timeout called by Clemson. They have 1 remaining in the half, 35 seconds to play in this one as Slay throwing to the left side, and that pass incomplete, 3rd and 4.
Yeah, even if he converts that or completes that, I don't think it's the first down. I'm not quite sure, with as much yard as they need and as little time as they have, why they're not pushing the ball more downfield.
Speed option, Slay keeping it. Cannot outrun Wyatt King, and it's a gain of 1. Florida will take a timeout.
Yeah, it's almost like Wyatt King is swimming around in the head of Will Slay right now.
Good old-fashioned haunting taking place in the Clemson backfield, and Florida on this return by Kellen Irvin going to set up Matthias St. John with an opportunity to try to get into field goal range for Ammon.
Well, they only need about 20-25 yards, so definitely possible, especially with 2 timeouts.
St. John from the gun. Going to go with a draw play for Bentley Jones, and that's going to eat up some time and some yardage. It's a loss of 2.
Neither one of these teams apparently want to add any points at the end of this half.
Pistol set. Jones motion out of the backfield, left side. St. John throwing it way short and leading Jones out of bounds for 3rd and 12.
Apparently these guys just want to go to the half, and they just feel compelled to go out there and do something, but neither one of them are really trying to do anything.
Going to empty out the backfield here. And St. John with Bill McAllister in his face, he finds Kellen Irvin down to the 45.
I was almost going to call him Will Slay because I thought, yeah, surely that's Clemson. No, it's Florida. But a great job there by St. John to stay in the face of pressure and complete that pass.
St. John to throw, time running out. He's got to take off and run. 2 seconds on the clock and a timeout called.
Well, that's especially a time you don't want to take off and run. Throw it away and save some time and your timeout.
St. John to throw, going to have to throw for the end zone. He puts it up, 3-2, and the Florida offense cannot come down with it. And so we go to half, our score 20-14 in the favor of the Gators.
Yeah, that was a very interesting end to that half, as St. John got hit as he threw that, and then it was a 3-on-2. How you get a 3-on-2 on a essentially a Hail Mary, I don't understand. But either way, it wasn't converted. It was an interesting half all around. Mock dropped the interception there. Could have really broken things open maybe for Florida, but Irvin gets the touchdown, or actually Tyler Wilson, Clemson comes back, and then the walk-on Jones comes through, splits the safeties when Clutch wasn't quite sure how that happened. And then the walk-on getting the touchdown for Clemson. The defenses kind of took over from there. Outside of that one play that they got the nice job on the outside, at the end neither one of those teams looked like they wanted to score, and so we kind of ended with the score that we had for a lot of that second quarter. But we'll see how things turn around in the second half. Hopefully the teams want to play more efficiently than they did in the last 2 minutes of the first half.
Well, you look at the numbers and the 2 striking differences, even though they're marginal. Florida about a 40-yard advantage in passing yards, and the 1 turnover by Clemson really seemingly being the difference maker so far.
Well, and Clemson was in a position where they could have taken the lead, and then Wyatt King picks off that pass. and nothing really came of it, but it kept Clemson from taking the lead. And now we'll see. Florida's got an opportunity to really stretch this one out. Got Clemson reeling a little bit, it seems like. Can they capitalize on it?
Irvin on the return, not going to get a whole lot with it. Barely across the 20, if that. And out comes Matthias St. John, who, Mike, last season pulled off an upset against Clemson and essentially knocked the Tigers out of the playoffs.
Yes, and Clemson was a little more heralded at that time than they are now, although they looked really good the last couple of weeks. So we'll see what they can do here. Both of these teams, like you talked about, riding high and having an opportunity, to stake their claim in the SEC, or, well, maybe not get eliminated. We'll see. I mean, who can make it? Like you said, St. John beat them last season. Got an opportunity to do it here. He's up by 6, but he's got to capitalize and start getting more points and not leaving them within striking range.
And off to Bentley Jones, and the Clemson defense ready for it, and all he's going to lose out of that is a yard. It's still 3rd and 3.
Well, they tried to just go to a little run up the middle, but a great job by Kraut and company to get in there and shut that one down and force the 3rd down. But still, run is an opportunity here on 3rd and 3.
From the pistol here. Read option keeper Matthias St. John, all kinds of running room for him, and then he'll opt to try and tuck it and absorb the big hit there from Aiden Berry.
I thought that was D. Law for a second. I was like, what is he doing out there laying hits? But Aiden Berry, his second big hit of the game, but a nice run on the read option there and picking up the 1st down.
Up to 36, 4 wide here. And St. John with the blitz coming, finds the open walk-on Ashton Jones. He'll get 9 yards on the play.
Well, they have 3 star-level wide receivers, and they're still going to their 4th option, which is the walk-on Ashton Jones, but it's been effective. So keep on doing it until they stop you.
It's a full house. And on the triple option, they'll give it to the backup Daniel Lane. He gets 3 yards and the 1st down.
Well, now they go to their halfback too, which is a walk-on. So Florida doing a good job of being diverse here, which is helping to keep this Clemson defense off balance.
And off, Bentley Jones running right, got some blocking and some yardage out of that play. It's a gain of 7 overall, 2nd and 3.
Well, they need to go back to that. They were using it in spots in the 1st half, and Bentley Jones has been effective running the ball, and I think you got to keep giving him more carries.
Well, they give it to him there, but this Clemson defense ready for it. Michael Bayes leading the charge. It's a loss of 1.
Yeah, Bayes got in there again. Kraut wasn't far behind, and they were big on both of those times that they've shut him down there. That's okay, though. It's 3rd and 4. It's manageable. But if you're Florida, you really, really want to convert this.
St. John to throw. Quick throw. Tyler Wilson, who's been the unheralded hero tonight, converts again.
4th catch for him, 58 yards. He's got that touchdown. And now they're right on that edge of that field goal range. Could make it a 2-score game as long as they keep moving forward.
Whistle set. Handoff. Bentley Jones to the inside. Bouncing it left. He'll get nothing on the play, really. Got back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more.
Farrell Burks getting in on the tackle. The run game was working a lot better early on in this game when Clemson maybe wasn't prepared for it, but they've started to adjust, it looks like, and Jones just not finding the running lanes.
Quick throw to the right side. There's Irvin coming back for that and picking up a yard. So, Mike, because of the running game or the inability to run the ball on 1st down, this is the longest 3rd down of the night for Florida.
Well, they could have had more, and it wasn't a great pass by St. John, but as long as they don't lose yards, they got an opportunity at the field goal.
The backfield, St. John coming back to the left side. There's Bentley Jones, who fights through 1 tackle, cannot fight through the 2nd by law, and it's 4th and 3.
It's a 43-yarder, and he's already made from 48 and 51, so it should be a very makeable field goal here for Anthony Ammon.
42 yards in front of the left hash, and Anthony Ammon delivers. 23-14 our score.
Well, Florida just has a penchant for these close games that leave you on the edge of your seat the whole game. This one doesn't look like it's going to be any different.
We'll take this time to give a shout out to everybody in the live chat of YouTube. Got Rick, the AD of Florida, Georgia fan, Wolfpack Gaming, Shane, Slayer Mike, Squiddy, Dead Dude, Swaggy, Matthias St. John, Allen, Clutch, and anybody else I might have missed, I apologize. I know Dane Jones is in here as well as Matt Pack and Isaac Kraut, opening things up with a catch and a gain of 6.
Well, really quick pass off the middle to him. If you remember Madden a couple years ago. They used those little tight end passes that couldn't be blocked. It kind of looked like that. They go to him really quick off the line.
Play fake here. Slay floating that one to the left sideline, and Jonathan Lamar will pick up 11. But Mike, you mentioned waiting for a shot downfield from Slay. We're still waiting for it.
Well, we are. He had a nice job there. I don't really like throwing in the double coverage, but he gets the first down. But yeah, it would be nice to see him push the ball a little bit deeper.
Here it is to the right side, and that pass caught Keith Blazer down to the red zone.
And Blazer gets open on the outside, beats KJ Wade there. Actually kind of double coverage, really, as he was getting trailed there by Howie Richardson as well, the strong safety. And a nice play there by Blazer. Now that's just going to help open up this defense for the Clemson offense.
From the gun, Will Slay, 2-by-2 look. Dane Jones being motioned out of the backfield right. Slay to Jones. Down inside the 10 where he's wrapped up by Wade. It's a gain of 13.
Well, nice little wheel route there. Maurice Ross had an opportunity to seal that edge there and allow Jones to get outside. Wasn't able to do it, and so instead they got the first and goal.
Dane Jones gets a handoff. Touchdown, Clemson.
Well, that's about as easy as it gets as they run the dive right up the middle. Great blocking up front. All kinds of room. Not quite sure what Florida was expecting there. And Clemson answers the field goal with a touchdown, and now it's a 2-point game.
Frazier Flores tacks on that extra point, and now Florida back in that really tight game, something that, Mike, as you mentioned, they've got a propensity for this season.
Yeah, I mean, every one of their games outside of the Auburn game has been a very close game down to the wire, and most of Clemson's games have been like that as well, outside of their big win over Michigan. So this one's going down to the wire. Both of these teams realize what's at stake. A loss, for the most part, ends their season, although more so for Clemson than Florida.
A big shot dished out on the return for Kellen Irvin. So the ball spot at the 20 and from the right hash. Bentley Jones getting the carry. And still fighting, gets 8 yards in this battle of the Joneses.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Good catch, yeah. Dane Jones and Bentley Jones, both of them pretty effective. Bentley got bottled up a little bit, but I'm sure he wants to get going and create some space and get this offense rolling.
And off Jones again, and a flying shoulder from Isaac Kraut to put Jones down.
Well, I talked about it before that Jones is not the smallest guy, 6'1", 225. Kraut right in that wheelhouse, 6'2", 217. He had the momentum, and he won that exchange.
And Jones motion out of the backfield to the right. Here's St. John to throw with a blitz in his face. There's Bentley Jones with a catch and some blocking to help him get to midfield.
He was kind of bending like Gumby there, going back and forth as they were trying to bring him down. But nice catch and first down.
Well, they teach flexibility, and a lot of these ball carriers and receivers, and really all players, spend a lot of time in yoga to help with that. I've left you speechless, I see.
Oh, boy.
Noah Bishop, 7 tackles, 2 for a loss here tonight as Bentley Jones picked up 2 yards on the previous run. They're going to go back to him here on the draw play, and he's going to get another yard. 3rd and 7.
Well, this is where Florida's kind of struggled all season, is they play a lot of short and ball control stuff, and they have a really tough time hitting something deep and creating more separation. Until they can do that, they're always going to struggle to move the ball efficiently and effectively.
Well, they move it effectively there. The walk-on Ashton Jones picking up 17.
Well, and now they're probably going to go back to the run game, which I don't necessarily hate, but I would really love to find another post route against that cover 2 look, beat them down the middle, get another touchdown, make it a 2-score game again.
From the 31 in Clemson territory.
They have no deep safety over the top.
We're wide, St. John to throw, got time, and he's going to float that one into coverage, but Ashton Jones, the walk-on, comes up with it and falls forward for the first down.
Well, I thought Isaac Kraut was going to get the interception, though. He abandoned his receiver to come back and get it, but a nice job by the walk-on to make the catch and pick up the first.
Kraut, his 9th tackle of the night. Jones motioned out of the backfield left. And St. John going to hit him on the wheel route to that side, and it's an 8-yard gain.
Well, I like seeing the running backs on wheel routes out of the backfield, and that time he's just a little too close to the sideline. But it's also giving them something else to think about. And as you see, just 5 guys in the middle of the field here. Nice setup for a run.
2nd and 2. St. John makes an adjustment, looking to throw. Going to the right side for Bentley Jones this time, swinging it out his way for a 3-yard gain and the first down.
Well, he's getting more involved, even if they have gone to him 7 times in the passing game. I think that's key. And their offense has looked about as good as it has all season, and I think part of it is just getting Jones more involved.
And off here, Bentley Jones into the end zone for the Gators.
Well, and he gets in there. It's his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. I think that might be his longest rushing touchdown of the season, as usually it's shorter than that when they go to him, but they've been relying on him more and more in this game, and it's paying off for him. As they scored 30, they came into the game only averaging 23.6.
10-play scoring drive here for the Gators. And Mike, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so an opportunity for Florida to score even more points in the 4th and give them a season high.
Well, we'll see if they're able to do that. They did score, I looked at the wrong score. They had 31 against LSU. They scored 30 against Michigan. So they're right there. They're only 1 point away from it. So, yeah, they could definitely hit a season high. They're well in range of that. Right, the thing they got to do now is they need their defense to come up with the stop.
Dane Jones getting the carry to the right side, has some room as he broke free of Andrew Muck, but it did slow him down enough for the rest of the Gators to get there and stop him.
And Rick only remembered the 30 against Michigan, apparently. Did not remember the 31 he put up against LSU.
And that was an upset at the time. It's Dane Jones fighting to get the first down. Another 10-yard run for Jones.
Well, Dane Jones and Bentley Jones are very similar running backs. They're very powerful. They got speed, and right now it's hard to distinguish the two of them.
And Slay's pass nearly intercepted by Dakota Wolf.
Well, Dakota Wolf's having a tough time distinguishing how to catch the ball, as only 1 interception on the season. Drops that one. Started out with 3 last year, made All-American, and kind of having a quiet season.
Jones gets a carry, gets swallowed up pretty quickly there by the walk-on Philip King. It's only a gain of 2, and that sets up a long 3rd and 8.
Well, Philip's going to be the Tiger King the way he's playing tonight.
He's keeping up with the Joneses at least Clemson's Jones in the backfield. It's Slay. Halfback screen, and it gets swallowed up. The Florida defense brings him down for a loss of 11. Barkevius Oswald with the sack.
Yeah, Oswald's the one that gets in there and winds up getting it, but it was Doug Clark, the walk-on safety, that brought the initial pressure. Now Oswald tying Bill McAllister for production tonight.
Matt Pack in the live chat to correct you that there's only one Tiger King.
Well, we'll see if the Tiger King can repeat his ticker. Because if he wins, if he doesn't win, then Clemson and Auburn both have 1 title. And what if LSU wins? Then all 3 Tiger teams. Who is really the Tiger King then?
We'll need another season to find out. Jones in motion, still an empty backfield, and that pass thrown away by St. John.
Yeah, busted play, a little miscommunication.
Into the 3rd, Florida up by 9 and looking to hold on to this lead and get the win. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. Start of the 4th quarter, and Florida a quarter away from doing to Clemson what they did last season, getting the win and essentially ending their playoff lives here as Kellen Irvin picks up 3.
Well, a little short check down there. He took what he has given him. I haven't liked the way St. John's looked on this drive. He's been a little uncomfortable. We'll see if he can get it together here on 3rd down.
Rewind, trips left, St. John to throw. With time, finding Bentley Jones, who throws out the stiff arm as he turned back inside and got 4 yards. Mike, if he turns outside, he might have had the first down.
Well, you still go short of the first down marker, and I don't really love that. I don't know if that's St. John being a little conservative, not wanting to give the game away, or if that's a directive from the sideline. But either way, a lot more conservative than maybe we've seen the rest of this game from St. John.
That punt out of bounds about the 25, 26-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it as a 3 and out.
Well, Clemson's got an opportunity here as they got the stop. They're down 2 scores, so it's going to take 2 drives either way, but an opportunity here. Get some points on this drive, and you're right where you want to be. 1 more drive on offense and a big drive by Slay.
Well, a big start to the drive by Slay, connecting with Keith Blazer as he approaches midfield.
Well, it's important to get Keith Blazer involved if you want to win games. He was your leading receiver coming in, had 38 grabs coming into this game, but hasn't necessarily had the biggest season overall. But he's your best receiver. If you can get him open and create some space with him, it helps everybody else out.
Slay, wide receiver screen to the left side. And Wyatt King there very quickly to stop Lamar after a gain of 6.
Well, there was a lot of space there. It was the right play call against that defense, but the Florida defense rallies quickly, including Wyatt King, who comes in there to get his 5th tackle.
So it's 2nd and 4. And Mike, what do you call in this spot given the current climate and landscape of the game?
Well, I think there's a lot of things you can call on 2nd and 4. Taking a shot wouldn't be the worst thing.
Slay trying to stand in, and he will for Keith Blazer to make the grab, picking up the 1st down, gain of 7.
I can understand why you wouldn't take a shot here because you got an opportunity to win the game and you don't want to throw an interception on a 50-50 ball. So they're probably not going to take anything deep unless it's wide open. But right now, just move the ball down, make sure you get at least 3.
Play fake, pressure in his face, but Slay finding Chamberlain King for 11 yards, and again another 1st down through the air.
I can't help myself. Chamberlain Tiger King.
Really pushing that.
Oh yeah, I don't know what it is. This feels right.
Triple option. Slay breaks the tackle and gets chased down by Wyatt King after a gain of 5.
Kind of a breakdown by the offense there, and Slay does a good job of picking up 5 out of what probably should have been nothing.
Empty backfield. Florida showing blitz. They bring it. As Slay going to try to spin out of it, cuts up field, and into Barkevius Oswald and Muhammad Damore.
Well, Oswald now takes the head-to-head lead in sacks between the two behemoths in the middle there, and Slay usually has shown a little bit more patience, takes off a little too early there. He's got to know where his checkdown's coming on the blitz and not run into the teeth of it and take a sack.
Long 3rd and 7, pistol set. Jones motioned out of the backfield right. 3-man rush. And a quick throw to the middle, but Jonathan Lamar is going to be stopped a couple of yards short. 4th and 2.
Yeah, I mean, they go to him. They're hoping that he's going to get the 1st down. I guess if they figure they're going for it on 4th down anyway, it's not the worst thing in the world. I wouldn't mind a field goal here, though, honestly.
Slay, 3-step drop, quick throw, middle of the field, caught by Keith Blazer, who holds on despite the efforts by Wyatt King.
Well, they went to the right guy. You want to go to Keith Blazer, but it's such a risky play there because if you don't get it, you're almost out of this game. But they did, so now they got to convert and get the touchdown.
All spotted at the 15-yard line, and Slay gonna let time tick away here a little bit. Runs that speed option, the pitch to Dane Jones, breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Clemson.
Clutch is in chat saying kick the ball, and now I'm sure he's excited after they get the big power run there by Dane Jones. I can see it to a degree because even though you're down by 9, you kick the field goal and you're down 6, but if they get a field goal, now you're down by 9 again. So playing for the touchdown there gives you a little bit more margin for error on defense.
Flores tacks on the extra point, and now it's a 2-point game. And you know, Mike, at this point the concern is, can Florida put a drive together that gets points and, you know, re-extends that lead?
Well, the big thing, like as I mentioned on there, is you made this a 2-point game. If Florida does stall out, doesn't get any points, you only need a field goal to take the lead. If Florida moves the ball down the field but stalls out and gets a field goal, well, then you still need a touchdown to win it. And so I think that was a good drive there by Clemson, although it was a little nerve-wracking. But like you said, Florida's got to move the ball down the field. They got to get some kind of points here, preferably a touchdown, which has been hard to come by from them.
They're going to start the drive. Read option keeper. St. John gets 4, and so they're starting it on the ground to try and tick away this clock. Here he is to throw, and a quick throw, and in the dirt over the middle as Isaac Kraut was in the area, 3rd and 6.
Well, this is where I don't like playing conservative on the last drive, and I don't like playing conservative here. You're only up by 2. You got to play, you got to go for the jugular, and right now it doesn't look like they're doing it.
Swing pass, Bentley Jones in a one-on-one situation, but he will lose that battle to Noah Bishop, who brings him down for a loss of 1.
There's a lot of things going on here. Not only did they play really conservative on their last drive, They didn't get anything. They gave good field position to Clemson. Clemson plays aggressively, goes for the touchdown, even their coach wanted the field goal. And now they put themselves in a situation here, one stop on defense, a field goal puts them in the lead. So a great job by Clemson, both offensively and defense, and Florida really struggling. And now, as we talked about, this is a situation where I think it favors Clemson and Will Slay.
So Blazer on the return gets close to midfield, and you're giving Will Slay really good field position.
Well, yeah, you only need a field goal to take the lead. And the way Florida's offense has been playing, it's really iffy. Their 3 field goals have all been over 40 yards.
Slay throwing the right side, wide open, and down inside the 25, Chamberlain King.
Well, Keith Blazer is the one that ran them off. They ran a streak with Blazer. This was really a wide receiver screen that he just turned upfield. Blazer runs him off and creates all that space on what should have been a screen, but Slay comes back to it after he turns up field, and that's just a huge play. A breakdown in coverage by Florida, but an excellent execution there by Clemson.
Knocking on the red zone, this Clemson offense. Will Slay flanked in the backfield. Play fake. Slay with time. Wants the end zone and had Blazer back there all alone, but it was a misfire.
Yeah, he was wide open, and he just puts too much air under it. Not a heavy wind, so it's not that. Just a misfire, like you said, there by Will Slay.
Dane Jones motioned out of the backfield. Quick throw right side. Maurice Ross with the catch.
Well, I'm not quite sure how he got his foot in there, but they said that he did. Nice job. They won't review it, so they said he was clearly in. Now 1st and goal. Not only is Clemson taking time off the clock, but they got an opportunity to make this a 5-point game.
And off Jones. Touchdown, Clemson.
Well, James Jones definitely paying dividends as he's got in for 2 straight touchdowns on the last 2 drives here for Clemson. And he has proven what a difference maker he is in this offense. Clemson has the lead here. I imagine they're going to go for 2, although I would be okay with the PAT to make it a 5-point game. So a field goal, so you're not down by a field goal if they get a touchdown.
Slay to throw. He's got the 2-point conversion for Jonathan Lamar. All of it made possible because Dane Jones delivered his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night.
So some people will ask why you go for 2 there. I don't agree with the call, but the reason you do it is if you give up a touchdown, you hope that you can block the PAT and make it a 6-point game. Again, I would rather take the 1 point and be up by 5 and only down by 2 if they get the touchdown. But I get it. You're thinking, okay, well, we blocked the PAT, although in over 400 games in the CFSL, we've never seen it happen.
That's one of the things that we're still missing. And a blocked punt. We have not seen that yet either. St. John, quick throw. There's Kellen Irvin to pick up the 1st down and get this drive started the right way for the Gators.
Well, I think it was at some point this year, or maybe one game last year, where somebody coined the term Matty Ice for Matthias St. John. Here's an opportunity for him to earn that nickname.
Oh, Bishop tonight, 10 tackles, 3 for a loss. Bentley Jones getting the carry right side. Picks up 5 yards.
Well, and they're staying with the run game, and they got plenty of time to do that. 3 minutes to go is plenty of time. What you want to do here is you want to score. You got to get a touchdown, but you want to score with as little time as possible on the clock.
Clemson showing blitz and press coverage all across the board as Jones gets the carry and will lose a couple. So, Mike, you mentioned Matty Ice having the opportunity to earn that name. Here's the spot for it.
Well, that was an opportunity there. You got to check out of that when you see a cover 0 blitz coming and know that you're not going to get anything running. He doesn't. They get stuffed, and now it's a long 3rd down.
St. John, halfback screen. Bentley Jones with blocking. He's got the 1st down and more down inside the Clemson 45.
I don't love that play call, but it's makes a little bit more sense. They brought the heavy blitz on the play before, so you're like, okay, well, maybe they're going to do it again here, although I think they were blitzing more to stop the run because they knew what you were going to do. But here they dial up the halfback screen, and this time they got the numbers that they wanted, and they got good blocking downfield, and they convert the 1st.
Oh, Bishop, 12 tackles tonight and counting as Clemson bringing a blitz again. And off Jones on the draw play, he's able to slip his way through the 1st level and get 4.
Well, again, I don't like going to the draw plays of Bentley Jones. He's a downhill runner. He's a guy that's got, it's big, he's powerful, and he's got speed. You got to get him running. You don't want to hand him off on draws, but he at least got 4.
Quarterback draw, and Matthias St. John with a stiff arm, but he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more.
Well, they're trying to get kind of cute here. They're trying to trick the Clemson offense, but now again, you're in a kind of medium-long third down here. You're going to obviously go for it on fourth down, but still a little iffy.
St. John to throw. Floats it left side and dropped by the walk-on Ashton Jones.
Well, and that's the downside of putting yourself in a situation where you feel like you're going to go for it, because you get a drop and now you're on a medium-long fourth down and everything's riding on this play here.
Ball game hinging on this. St. John going to take off and run. Turn up field and a stiff arm. Did he get it? Yes.
Wow. That is, I know Hunky Dory, Rick Jordan, is sitting in chat, and I know his lips and his backside puckered up when that happened, but St. John gets the first.
St. John to throw. Quick check down left side of the walk-on fullback, Quentin Payne. He'll pick up 6.
Normally I don't like these very long and conservative drives, but this is what you need here because you want to take as much time off. If you get a touchdown inside of 30 seconds, you're in a really good spot.
10th play of the current drive. Jones with the carry running left side, and he'll get down inside the red zone by picking up 5 yards.
Well, it's much like last week. We didn't really like the way that the offense looked for most of the game for Florida, but they put themselves in an opportunity to win. The defense didn't hold it for them. Well, they're putting themselves in an opportunity to win again this week.
Read option keeper St. John gets caught by the back leg and went airborne to pick up 11.
Well, he went airborne, and apparently it rocked something loose as all of a sudden he landed like he was in the 80s doing breakdance and spin moves.
Jones motion out of the backfield. St. John to throw. Finding Bentley Jones for the touchdown.
Well, they got the touchdown. It's a little bit sooner than I would have liked. I would have liked under 30 seconds, but at that point, inside a minute, you need the touchdown. You want to take the lead. Now you put the pressure on Clemson. They do have 3 timeouts, and they only need a field goal. But you did your part. Now it's up to your defense for the second week in a row.
How concerned would you be right now, Mike, considering what happened to the Florida defense last time?
I think you're okay. I mean, they're one of the better defenses in the league. 3rd in points against coming into this game, 2nd in first downs against, 2nd in yards against. I think they're okay. They're actually 1st against the pass, and that's what Clemson's going to want to do. But the thing they need now is they need guys like Muhammad Damour to come up and get a big sack and try to stall this drive out from Clemson.
Keith Blazer gets a decent return, so 29-yarder. You see Will Slay's numbers, 23 of 34, 250 yards through the air, touchdown, a pick. But, Mike, the real story of this offense has been Dane Jones tonight, and because of the situation, he gets taken out of that equation, right?
Well, maybe. You could maybe run him on some wheel routes or angle routes and get him involved that way.
Pistol set, Slay to throw. Blitz coming, and Muhammad Damour and Barkevius Oswald will get the sack.
Well, Oswald's going to get credit for it. It's his 3rd sack tonight, but that was really Damour and impatience by Will Slay that created that.
That takes time off the clock, and Slay's going to let this run down.
He might be a little shaken after that. I don't understand what you're letting it run down for. You got 3 timeouts in 20 seconds, and Will Slay looks like he's maybe a little shaken after that big hit from Oswald.
This to ice or to make the game. And it will be the very last play. Slay throws it out of bounds and incomplete.
Oh, a flag.
And a flag is thrown.
Oh, pass interference. You got to be kidding.
A defensive pass interference call on Dakota Wolf. It's going to give him 15 yards.
Wow.
And a new set of downs and 1 play.
Wow. That could be huge. I mean, that's still improbable here, but they gave him a chance.
Slay winding up. Deep ball and too far in front for anybody to get underneath it. And so Clemson will lose 37-36.
Well, you got to give it up to the Florida defense as they came through there, and it looked like they might have rocked and rattled Will Slay a little bit as he did not seem to have his composure at that last drive. He got a reprieve when Dakota Wolf had the pass interference penalty, but then you even see it on the Hail Mary. He overthrew his receiver by 10 yards. Wasn't the best game. Slay's had 3 really good weeks in a row, and this one was a little bit off for him against one of the better defenses in the league. Credit to Florida, they just missed winning their 4th game of the season last week. This time they get it against Clemson. They eliminate Clemson from the SEC race while also keeping themselves alive. Great job by Florida.
The Gators improved to 500 in conference, and Mike, as you mentioned, have effectively eliminated Clemson from the playoff race. That'll do it for us tonight, but CFSL action for Week 6, it's not over. Tomorrow night over on Twitch, LSU at Ohio State. For Mike, I'm David. We'll see you back then.